I've been illegally detained multiple times when I'm a Greek citizen with NATO clearance.
On this ride along, an officer makes a pretzel threat.
Or you'll be tied up like a pretzel.
Another laughs at the body cam. And a man takes off his seatbelt with style. On the morning of September 1st, a sheriff's deputy was operating moving radar on Highway 441 in Florida when he saw a speeding Kia Sportage in the opposite lane of travel. The officer made a U-turn, clocked the SUV going 72 in a 50-mile-per-hour zone, and pulled the driver over.
You know what's actually cool on these is when the cops, I actually did a police ride along back when I was in college, and when you're driving, the cops can actually see how fast you're going in the opposite direction. I'm not sure if you knew that, but it's pretty.
So they don't have to do the math.
They actually can tell, like if you're driving this way and they're driving this way, even if they're not behind you, their little radar tells them how fast you're going, even though you're heading at them dead on.
That's interesting. I always thought they had to do the reverse math.
No, yeah, you don't actually have to get behind somebody to clock them. You can actually clock them and then you can reclock them once you're behind them. It's pretty interesting.
Is being clocked more reliable than radar?
I mean, they have like the official gun, but they also have their little like thing in the car.
Hello, Deputy Eulo, the sheriff's office. The reason for stopping you, you're going 72 back there in the Pacific.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I've been tailed the whole way with people going 100. How does that sound?
No, when I passed you at 100.
Right,
You guys
sure.
are real weirdo.
Am I free to go?
No.
I have FBI clearance, so...
Starting out with "Can I go?" is a
No, I don't.
issue.
Okay. Well, I need some type of...
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You don't have the right. What am I being stopped for?
72 and opposed to 55.
At that point, is that speeding? That's exceeding the limit?
Yeah, I mean, they have different ranges for it, right? Like you have,
Greek citizen.
10 over, 15 over. I mean, there's different zones, and the tickets are higher depending on that. You know, one of the things that I always tell people is if you're, the sweet spot, and again, I'm not here to encourage crime, but the sweet spot's usually if you're under 10, like if you're going 8, they don't mess with you. Even though technically it's speeding, 10 is kind of the magic number where they're not going to bug you.
But they probably won't even bother pulling you over. If you're obnoxious, they might give you a ticket because it's within their discretion. And if you're pleasant, they may just let you go rewind.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going like 8 over, 99% of the time, they're not going to pull you over.
Think about it for a little bit.
There's nothing to think about.
Does that have any bearing on a speeding ticket? He's a Greek citizen, he says.
Yeah, so I mean, the Greek citizen doesn't really have any relevance to anything, right? It's if you're some sort of ambassador or something, you have some sort of like clearance or something like that, then technically they can't detain you. But those are very rare, specific instances, and there has to be actual proof that you're some sort of foreign country ambassador. I mean, this is clearly not that situation. This guy is not an ambassador.
Right. If being pulled over for speeding isn't really, does that qualify as detainment?
It's interesting. I've never encountered that case. I've done this almost 20 years, and I've never seen an ambassador situation before. But I in theory it says you cannot detain. So probably this is he's being detained right now. So yeah.
Florida license.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Which one do you want?
I need your Florida driver's license.
Why?
Why not this?
Why not this? This is an international driving license.
Okay, and you have a Florida one.
All right, take it. You can have it. Am I free to go?
No, you're not.
It keeps going up.
I need registration and insurance.
I don't have it. It's a rental.
Okay, this should have some type of registration.
That's an interesting question. In Florida, there's so many cars that are on the road that are rental cars. I've run into that situation. I've been pulled over.
Yeah.
You don't really have that classic registration where it says, this is John, this is where he lives, this is his car. A lot of times you have the rental agreement from Avis, and that's what you got. Does that qualify as registration?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have the rental agreement. I mean, a lot of the cars are also registered as being owned by that company, and they can pull that up they have a whole database in their car.
So if they ran the license plate,
they would see, and then you have the rental agreement. So it's not really a huge thing. I mean, you're not going to see that be an issue.
Why you're so upset with me?
Think about it for a little bit.
There's nothing to think about.
New bull. Here. Is that good?
No. Hang tight. Registration, I'll go run your stuff.
I don't have a registration for a car I don't own.
You know, we've talked before, Ken, about tone when you're addressing law enforcement
The
officers.
officer would return to his patrol
Is there any
vehicle to run the
advantage to
man's
this guy
license.
being so
But as he was doing that,
torqued
he
up?
noticed
I mean, it's funny. Right? People, we're lawyers, and we've both been involved in being pulled over by police and things like that. I mean, I had a cop pull me over in Seminole County, and I was laughing with the cop. The cop comes to the window, and I said, "Oh man, you caught me. I was speeding, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, "How fast was I going?" Blah blah blah. He let me off in 2 seconds. I mean, we laughed about it, and he let me go. It was a total non-issue. But when you make it such a big deal, it becomes far worse for you. Like if you're nice with them, chances are they're probably going to either throw the ticket out, they'll give you a warning, or they'll give you a lower level, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a jerk, they're gonna give you every possible violation that they can give you. They're gonna max you.
Even taillights. Yeah, I have the exact same experience. I have that safe driver certification with the state of Florida, and I haven't had a ticket since 2004. It was
Yeah.
my last actual ticket. Knock on wood. But I've been pulled over many times, and I've just received verbal warnings.
Because being decent, right?
Exactly.
So you always be decent.
the man putting on gloves and watching the officer in his mirror. Unsure of what the man was doing, and given his prior argumentative behavior, the officer decided to ask the man to exit his vehicle.
So as a young driver, I remember learning from my father, when you are pulled over, if you are pulled over, not to make moves, not to do strange things. Putting on the gloves is a strange thing to do.
No.
Bizarre, right? I mean, why does he have gloves on?
In Florida.
And they're like jogging gloves too, like not even driving
I'm
gloves.
letting you know now.
Go ahead. Search me. Search me. Go.
I will tase you. Where's this?
At this point, he moves from being detained to this is resisting arrest here, right?
Yeah, so you know, the reality is when he was initially went up to get out of the car. No, I'm not going to get out of the car. Get out of the car. He could have arrested him right there on the spot. Like the instant he refused a lawful command, right? So resisting arrest, people think, oh, it's resisting arrest. It's actually resisting without violence, which is you're resisting a lawful command, meaning that the officer gave you a lawful command, which was get out of the car. He's allowed to do that. He can order you out of the car for safety reasons. So once he makes that initial determination, can you get out of the car, and he starts refusing, technically he's actually committing a criminal act right there at that moment. So he committed at least 3 criminal acts. Then once he gets out of the car, he's being aggressive and pulls away from him and acts aggressive again. So I mean, the guy is just going off the bonkers, right? We went from a simple, fun laugh exchange, small ticket now to multiple criminal violations to max speeding violations. I mean, he's just maxing everything.
Right. He's got handcuffs on. He's now
Yeah.
going to be headed to the cruiser.
Wait, give me. What are you doing? I promise you I'll tase you. All right, I'm good right now.
Good Samaritan offering to help. I don't know that I would be that decent.
Appreciate you.
I'm the FBI DCF clearance. Not illegal. Not illegal.
Now he's throwing out this FBI clearance, this weird claim that he has some sort of special privilege.
And DCF, whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, nothing he's saying really makes any sense.
Oh, now you're getting
Have a
nice.
seat.
Now you're getting nice.
Have a seat.
Newbold. Number
This
160.
is new bull. What is
I
that?
said that 2 or 3 times now. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Moments later, another officer would arrive on scene.
I told him, I pulled him over, 72 in the 55. He said that wasn't me. He was being tailgated, being a hunter. I'm looking at you the whole time.
Now, standard traffic stop would not involve 2 police officers, Greg. I know DUIs, I think it's the rule in most jurisdictions that they have to have 2 police
Yeah.
officers. But with a speeder, that would be very unusual.
So
Maybe because he moved into this resisting mode.
yeah, I would say that it turned from a very simple traffic stop into it looked like, and I couldn't see the full picture of it, but some sort of almost, they were fighting with each other to some extent, and the person had to come up, and he probably called over his radio that he was making the arrest. I didn't catch the signal, but there was probably some sort of signal. Hey, I got a active resistor here. He's causing a scene. So it became more of an issue over the radio, and other people responded to it.
And at
Right.
this point too, I mean, the police officer is being exceedingly polite and responsible. It seems sometimes we watch these tapes and the police officers are a little bit more aggressive. This officer seems to be just trying to do a job.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of what we talked about. I mean, like he could have arrested him way sooner than he did, and he gave him multiple chances. Can you just get out of the car? Can you just get out of the car? I will arrest you. Can you? So he just kept, trying to be as decent with the guy as possible. And the guy had like a death wish to be arrested here. I mean, like this is advice I would give somebody: if you want to be arrested, act like this guy.
I see how done. You're doing. You're getting out.
You're getting out.
I'm back there. He is gloving up. So I don't know if he's got him a gun. What's going on? I come up here, tell him to get out. No, I tell him to yank his ass out of there if you don't get out.
Do you find this a little strange? Like, why is he? Is it like a supervisor or something? Because it's a little bit odd that he's like having to give his whole recount of what happened instead of just
And he's claiming to be FBI?
other fellow officers. You could say the guy was
Again, just for a standard traffic stop.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. So
The officers would go check on this claim.
This is the third car,
Hey,
right?
man, what's
Yeah.
going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
I've been illegally detained multiple times when I'm a Greek citizen with NATO clearance and FBI
What
and
does that mean?
DCF clearance.
FBI clearance. So what does that got to anything?
See, this
to
stuff.
do
This
with
stuff
you?
doesn't mean anything.
72
NATO
to 25
clearance,
when our
FBI,
officers were going
like
100
it's
miles
all
a week.
bizarre terminology, right? Like,
I tend to think if you did have some sort of diplomatic immunity,
Yeah.
you would have something at wall to show I'm a diplomat.
Okay,
for
but
sure,
what's that
and it would be very
Except
clear and very
it's gonna be
obvious, and you likely wouldn't be out on the turnpike by yourself in a car,
Yeah, in your Kia with the Davis.
right?
He told you he was with the FBI?
I didn't say that. I said I have FBI DCF clearance.
What does that mean to us?
Apparently none of you
It
know.
means nothing.
All right.
The man is possibly referring to FBI and DCF criminal background checks. These checks are mandated by Florida law for jobs involving positions of trust, such as healthcare workers, teachers, and first responders, among others. The NATO clearance is
And
possibly
this would
referring
clearly
to someone
take
who
it
has
out of
been
the range.
vetted and given access to classified information that
What
belongs
would?
to NATO. But that's just a guess.
This
Let us
DCF,
know in
this
the
FBI
comments if you
clear,
think it's something else.
because he's subjected to a background check.
Yeah.
means that he doesn't have a criminal record problem.
What they're talking about, it has no relevance to whether you can get pulled over or not pulled over, arrested now. It's a very specific enumerated thing, right? Even FBI agents can get arrested. Even FBI agents can get pulled over.
This was so now the supervisor just threatened to fold the man into a pretzel if he didn't behave. That's a little pushing it.
Right? Yeah, I mean, kind of. It's I can fold you into a pretzel if there was an imminent threat. Maybe
So
It sounded like he
But
was
on-
trying to close the door, and the guy
he
blocking
was
the door
charged
with his
with
leg.
resisting without violence and given a $1,000 bond. Court documents don't show
Yeah,
that he
that's the
ever resisted
appropriate
one, so he
charge.
likely remained in jail until his plea agreement and sentencing 24 days later. He pled no contest to the charge.